Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
I mean, I think I could body a horse-sized duck. I think.
Welcome to On the Come Up, a brand new series by efuse where we interview players, content creators, and streamers about their journey in esports. Today, our first guest, we have the amazing Spidertiff to talk to. What up, Tiff?
Oh my gosh, when you call me the amazing Spidertiff, the only thing I could think of is the old comics of the Amazing Spider-Man, and I just want to go pew pew pew, like, bro, I don't know, it just made me smile.
What was the first video game that you played competitively?
I'm more on the desk, right? It's easier for me that way, but the first game that I ever got into casting-wise was actually going to be Call of Duty Cold War. Then I got into Call of Duty Warzone, Apex Legends, and all of that. But the first game that I ever streamed, like on my channel back in 2019, was Apex Legends.
Awesome. And what inspired you to start your Twitch channel?
I originally started my Twitch channel back in December of 2018, and it was just something that I really had wanted to do. Like, video games have been in my life throughout, I don't know, since I was born. I have two brothers. My parents kept their old consoles, so I had kind of dabbled back with like Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, and like playing Sonic. But it was actually my husband, Ashton. He was kind of like, you know, you play video games all the time anyways. Like, would this be something that you're interested in? And then we kind of saved up, built a PC, and full sent it in my spare time.
So I know you cast, but you also stream. So what is the dynamic between being a caster, but also like a content creator on Twitch?
Oh, it's tough, right? Like, because when you are a commentator on the desk, you have to obviously be a little more professional, right? But where I'm a content creator, it's kind of like I can sit back, I'm in my own space. Now, granted, remote casting, I'm still in my own space, but it's kind of like my own channel, and I can kind of have a little more leeway with what I want to do and whether I want to play Apex Legends or other shooters, maybe some story games. I just like to have fun and interact with my community and chat more often than not. And when you're a commentator, you can't necessarily keep chat open. And I mean, sometimes I'll take a dive in there, but for the most part, I keep chat very much closed because I've seen some toxic things.
Nice. Awesome. So, Tiff, how did you initially start growing your Twitch channel?
It took a lot. It was bits of commentating, it was expanding, it was not just streaming on Twitch, it's posting on other social media platforms, it's engaging with others' content, and it's just trying to find genuine relationships in the space because the discoverability on Twitch is pretty nil. It's kind of horrible, so you have to do anything and everything outside of Twitch to grow.
And I saw that you recently quit your 9-to-5 job and went full-time into casting and streaming. What does like a normal day-to-day look like now, like after a 9-to-5 job?
The first 2 weeks were really tough because before that I was working like 40 to 50 hours a week at my 9-to-5 and working on the weekends and streaming and casting on top of everything. So it was just a really large shuffle of how to get things done. And those first 2 weeks, I would wake up at like 7 a.m. I would go out, play fetch with my dog, and I would like sit there and be like, wow, I'm like bored already. Like, because I was doing so much. It's all about schedule and routine and making sure that you're planning out your weeks. Like, I know I've got all my mangas right here, but like I keep a schedule on my computer. I keep a schedule and I just have to stay incredibly organized, and if one thing comes up, I have to move like 5 things over, but I keep it pretty down to the wire.
Okay, yeah, like you're your own boss, so you got to be on top of yourself. So that is really tough, and kudos to you for doing that. That is incredible.
It's tough. It's tough.
What are your goals and you could take this either casting or streaming, but what are your goals as a streamer?
I want to keep growing and staying real to myself. I want to make sure that no matter whatever comes my way, that it is truth and I'm still playing games because I enjoy them and doing kind of what I want. Like, I love playing horror games. That's one of my favorite things to possibly do, whether it's like Resident Evil, The Quarry, all of those games are like super massive games where you get to like kind of pick your own fate, choose your destiny. The Dark Picture anthology games. So just staying with my core community that's kind of been there since the beginning, and anyone new that shows up and has like a positive attitude, it's just maintaining that dynamic and then maybe scaling it a little bit. Like, behind my budget things, I would love for my streaming to be able to fully fund my bills essentially and my life, and it's not quite there yet. Like, if I didn't have casting, I would not have gone full-time content creation.
how do you handle burnout? Like, because I feel like that's a big thing, especially when you're first starting to like, I feel the same way too. And it's like when you're first starting to become a streamer, a content creator, maybe you want to do this, like you have to push really hard. You have to put the hours in. How do you handle burnout as best as you can?
Yeah, that's a very real thing. A lot of people experience it. They'll get burnout, whether it's playing the same game every day, playing with the same people every day, doing the same thing every day. Because I mean, you just come into this room and you're like always here, right? So I think it's finding the balance of having something outside, right? So I go to CrossFit every day. I have to go socialize with these people every day. And I hit a really hard workout. It pushes me to be more. But like, as far as like burnout in the streaming space, there is always going to be someone doing more than you. You will never be able to do all the things that you want to do, and that's okay. And you have to come to the realization with that. It's kind of like when I said earlier, it's like, whatever I do will never be enough for me. I've come to terms with that. Like, it sucks. I know that I could always do better, and I just kind of try to scale it back and say, like, as long as I can improve, you know, maybe 1% every day. If I am, you know, staying more positive on stream, not letting the game tilt me. If I do a cast, it's okay, can I improve 1 to 5% better? How can I make my co-casters experience more joyful? Like, I worked last night on an Apex Legends event for like a 20K playoffs, and it was really cool because my co-caster came in and was like, you know, like, how can I make this a good cast for you? And I was like, dude, no, like, don't worry about me. Like, I'm gonna have a good time no matter what. It's really cool that we get to do this, and I love commentating this. What do you need out of this? Because I think if we can just give it, like, I just rather have the other person have a better time than me. That sounds bad, like, but if you do that, you'll notice the dynamic start to shift on a broadcast, because they're wanting to give a good throw to the other casters, set them up for the best, and you're trying to do the same thing to them, that it kind of works out. But I mean, you asked me about burnout. It's literally just trying to know that you can't do everything and just trying to be grateful each and every day, and don't put too much on yourself. Like, definitely take time for self-care. Like, 30 minutes before this, I was laying on the couch with a blanket over my head, just trying to chill for an hour and not think.
And that's okay. And that is okay. I feel like we all need that.
It's definitely well needed. It is so well needed.
What advice do you have for small streamers that are just starting?
I get asked this a lot, and I never know if it's like a troll thing, like people coming into my stream, oh my god, I just started streaming, like, do you have any advice? And I'm like, I can't tell if this is real or not, but I always tell people, like, set a schedule, stream at the same time, be consistent. Yes, Tiffany, be consistent. You can do it too. Still, but be consistent so people know when to find you, right? Like, if you follow your favorite YouTubers or anything of that nature, you know they have a video that probably launches maybe 2 to 3 times a week, what time it drops, and then you go watch that new video when it drops. So you always have to make sure that people know that you are consistent, and honestly, that you talked about one game and how people play one game. Playing one game can help you grow faster if you network within that space and meet other creators in that space and become ingrained in that, right? But that's gonna make it tough for you to switch, and some people have a hard time doing that once you get to a certain size, but it's something that you can definitely do. I think branching outside of streaming, creating content, making those YouTube videos, whether it's IRL, let's say you're in the gym all the time, make some gym content too, because brands wanna see that as well.
What are you most excited for about the future in gaming?
My future in gaming, oh man. I don't know where I'll find myself. Hopefully somewhere cool. I want to do more LANs. I want to eventually just keep myself on an S tier broadcast, work with superior broadcast talent, and just get to have an amazing time being excited about the games that I love. There, I don't know, like, that has to be it, right?
That's like an audience, like, aww.
Yeah, like
put that in brooder, like, aww.
Like, I genuinely just want to have a good time. Isn't that what everyone wants? We just want a little bit of happiness, right?
That's awesome. That's a great answer. Best game of all time.
Pokemon Yellow.
S tier fast food place.
Raising Cane's.
F tier fast food place.
What's that place called that has good fries but trash everything else? Rallies? Checkers?
Okay, Checkers.
Depends on where you are.
Yeah. If you could have dinner with anyone in the world, who would it be?
I guess my husband, because I like him and I don't really like other people that much. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's like a famous person. Like, does it matter?
Cats or dogs?
Oh, dogs, 100%.
Would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Oh my God, I would be in like a mini stampede if I went for the 100, but that's a big duck. I mean, like, are we fist fighting? Like, is it gonna feather flap
No
me?
weapons. No weapons, just bodies.
I mean, I think I could body a horse-sized duck.
What is your dream org?
Like, I never really thought about that because I never really saw myself on an org. Oh no, I got so many thoughts going in my head. All right, I was gonna say 100 Thieves. I think what they're doing over there is really, really cool.
And what is your dream casting gig?
It would need to be like an S tier championship game on LAN, the crowd going crazy, and you just cast that like game-winning moment for an organization and or a team. Like that right there, it would solidify everything. It would just probably like feel so cool, and then I'd be like, oh my God, like what's next?